Your Honor, the state calls Jeff Rugel.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give away is the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir, I do.
Have a seat. And before you begin, if you could give us your full name, spelling each of your names.
James Jeffrey Rugel, James Jeffrey, Rugel, Rugel.
Mr. Swisher.
Can I take these off?
Please.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Is it Officer Rugel?
Lieutenant Rugel,
Lieutenant Rugel. And what law enforcement agency are you with?
Minneapolis Police Department.
And how long have you been employed by the Minneapolis Police Department?
Just under 32 years.
And you indicated that you're a lieutenant. How long have you held that rank?
Since 2000.
Before you talk a little bit about yourself, you understand that you've been called here today as sort of a foundational witness. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Your personal involvement in this case is somewhat limited, and we're going to be offering various video evidence through you. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Right. And so what are your present duties with the Minneapolis Police Department, Lieutenant?
I manage the Police Business Technology Unit.
And what is that?
Myself and my staff basically manage the technology equipment, software, systems that officers use on patrol and investigations anywhere they're doing their job.
Tell the jury a little bit about some of these systems and software and tools that you use.
For example, we have a records management system where all of our police reports are kept, and so my staff manages that system along with a software vendor. We use surveillance video, for example, surveillance cameras around the city. We manage accounts for that, advise on where cameras should be, and make sure the system's working. The city uses body cameras for patrol officers and investigators. We manage the body camera program, including the video storage, which is through a cloud-based vendor, but all of the policies and stuff are enforced through our system administrators, which are part of my staff.
Fair to say, as a police department, the department generates a lot of data.
Very much, yes.
Both the written documents, video, audio, and all of these things need to be collected and stored and be able to be retrieved in a way that can be associated with a case number. Is that right?
Correct.
Before stepping into the business technology unit, I'd like you to share with the jury a little bit about your career at the Minneapolis Police Department. When did you begin?
I started in 1989 as a patrol officer, worked as a patrol officer for several years, was promoted to sergeant, and worked as an investigator doing gang cases, gun trafficking, and narcotics. Was promoted to lieutenant in 2000, and as a lieutenant I've served as a patrol lieutenant supervising a shift of officers on the street at a couple of postings. Served in this business technology job, and I also was the manager of our Strategic Information Center for about 8 years.
And I'd like to, for purposes of starting here, focus on that assignment with the Strategic Information Center. So could you please describe for the jury what the Strategic Information Center is?
It's what we call a real-time crime center. So it's a facility where both sworn law enforcement officers and non-sworn analysts work they're monitoring the police radio, they're monitoring cameras, they're looking at calls for service, and looking for ways to assist patrol officers in their job. So that could be anything from hearing that a patrol officer is on the way to an address on a particularly high priority call, looking up the history of that address and being able to send information to an officer so they know more about it before they even arrive. They also do a lot of assistance to investigations, looking for link analysis, trying to find suspects based on nicknames, all sorts of stuff. But they do that 7 days a week, 20 hours a day.
Fair to say, like any other business, things have changed a lot since 1989 when you started in law enforcement.
Yes, quite a bit.
We have much more sophisticated surveillance tools and data storage tools, is that right?
Yes.
When did the Strategic Information Center open?
October of 2010.
And what was your involvement in the Strategic Information Center at that point?
I was on the design team that helped to configure the way it was going to work. I was the initial and first manager of the center, so I wrote the standard operating procedures, the policies, sort of created it from the ground up, along with some supervisors that worked for me.
And you served to manage that center until when?
April of 2018.
And that's when you began your position with the Business Technology Unit?
Yes.
Within the Strategic Information Center, what I'd like you to focus on for the jury is the availability of surveillance video throughout the city. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So the city has a network of public safety cameras that are placed at strategic locations all over the city. There's roughly 250, maybe a little more than that now. Typically in high traffic or areas where we expect to see a lot of activity. And those cameras are on 24/7. They're recorded all the time, and they can be monitored both at the Strategic Information Center and from places like precincts, and investigators often can monitor them or retrieve recorded video as needed.
And when you say monitor, you're talking about monitoring in real time.
Sure, you can watch them live. You can move them, if you will, pan, tilt, and zoom the cameras to zoom in on things that are of interest. Or if you know that there's an incident at a location where we have a camera, they can use the camera to try to see what's going on.
And then how do you communicate with other officers who may be on patrol and in need of this information?
There's a number of ways. The primary way would be sending what we call a switch message. So the squads have a computer in the car, and they're operating some software that allows us to send them sort of a direct message that flashes on their screen and can give them updates on the call or any other information. We can also get on the radio if we want to broadcast to a wider group. And then people have cell phones. We can call them if there's something more detailed than what you want to send in the message.
And that's helpful for monitoring in real time. You also mentioned storage and retrieval of said footage. Is that right?
Yes.
Describe, as the designer and former lieutenant of this Strategic Information Center, how the footage is able to be stored, retrieved, and, if possible, associated with a particular case number or event.
Sure. So we use a system called Milestone, which is our enterprise video management system. It's commercial software, but each camera feeds its images into Milestone, and they're recorded on a giant server that just holds video. They stay there for 14 days, and then after 14 days, the video expires and it just goes away. But during that 14 days, the staff at the SIC or investigators can go in and search by date and search by location. So, with the huge number of cameras we have, we can't monitor every camera all the time. There's just not enough people, and your eyes would glaze over. So, it's very common for an investigator to contact the SIC, the day after an incident and say, "Hey, will you go find the video from this corner from this time to this time and save it for me, send it to me." And so they will do that, check the area where the incident was, and get the video. It can be downloaded out of the system so that it's no longer subject to that 14-day expiration. And once it's downloaded, it's like any other video file. It's there as long as you have it.
And when you do, or an officer does, download Milestone video, and I think the jury's heard that term before already now, Milestone video. When they download the Milestone video, does that leave any kind of electronic trail so that you can know who made the request, what case number it was assigned to, and where the incident came from?
The milestone video itself, the system doesn't have case numbers, but when downloading it, usually the file is named, including the case number. And then to store that file, rather than keep it on a person's local computer, they store it in our video cloud storage system, which is called evidence.com. And at that point, it's associated with a case number.
And the whole point of collecting the data, I suppose, is being able to retrieve it and use it both for proactive law enforcement, but also to review as evidence. Is that right?
Yes.
And so is this something that the SIC does, or officers assigned to that unit do in the ordinary course of business?
Yes, very much so.
And upon request here, were you able to review certain business records of the Minneapolis Police Department with which you're familiar to determine whether or not milestone video was requested and downloaded in this case?
Yes.
And when I say this case, you're aware there was an incident that took place on 38th in Chicago on May 25, 2020. Is that right?
Yes.
And was there milestone camera footage taken of the area on the date and around the time of the death of George Floyd?
Yes.
Are you aware that that footage was requested by a Deputy Chief Eric Fors in connection with this investigation?
Yes.
And can you tell the jury what he specifically requested?
I believe he wanted video from the camera at 38th in Chicago from about 7 p.m. till, I'm not sure how late, maybe 11 p.m.
And based on your review of the records, was that video footage obtained?
Yes.
And that was obtained by a Minneapolis police officer by the name of Dean Rugel. Is that right?
Yes. He was a sergeant at the SIC.
Okay. And the milestone footage with the incident that you just described, is that under Minneapolis Police Department case number 2020-140629?
Yes.
And that footage was exported and then uploaded into the MPD's evidence.com site for later retrieval. Is that right?
Yes.
And do you know when, based on your review, the case was uploaded? That footage was uploaded?
Yes.
Was that 12:50 a.m. on May 26, 2020?
I believe so, yes.
And you reviewed this footage yourself, is that right?
I have.
When did you review it?
I actually reviewed it the day after the incident to see if there was video available.
Now, can the milestone footage, does the milestone footage include a date and time stamp embedded in it?
Yes.
And based on your experience using this footage, are the date and time stamps accurate?
They're very close to the same time as what would be on your phone or anywhere else.
Okay. And can those date and time stamps be changed or altered by the user?
No, one of the reasons we use Milestone is because when you download video using Milestone, it creates a sort of a secure package that includes a player and the video, and it can't be broken up, altered.
Okay. Now, we asked you to review some of this footage, and you're aware that we've had footage excerpted and marked and are offering it as various exhibits. Is that right?
Yes.
Now, I'd like to draw your attention then to Exhibit 42. Were you previously shown a video that you were told would be designated Exhibit 42?
I don't know if I was told it would be 42, but I've been shown some video clips, yes.
All right. And you watched it, recognized it, and believe it to contain an accurate excerpt of the original Milestone video downloaded under that case number, is that right?
Yes.
That Officer Rugel exported?
Correct.
Would you agree that the excerpt itself is a little zoomed in and captures various images from about 7:44 p.m. until 8:35 p.m. on the proffered exhibit?
Yes.
At this time, Your Honor, offer Exhibit 42.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
42 is received.
All right, and I'm going to request to publish Exhibit 42, but before we do that, just to explain to the jury, what they will be seeing is something with which they've already seen a couple of times, Milestone footage, I guess in that format, but there's no sound, is that right?
Correct.
And we're going to be playing a segment without sound or narration that will run from 8:08 p.m. until 8:14 and about 42 seconds. Right? And so I ask that that be published now. We'll stop there. Thank you. Now, Lieutenant, I'd like you to take a look at Exhibit 1, please. We're publishing Exhibit 1. And do you see the, familiar with the intersection here, I'm assuming?
Yes,
Right? It's 38th and Chicago.
correct.
And you see the gas station marked Speedway.
Yes.
And do you see those small yellow icons, if you could zoom in, those yellow icons on the Speedway?
Yes.
Okay. What do those yellow icons mean?
They're cameras. One of them is our camera.
Okay. So, and if we could then just focus on the Speedway area, the two there. All right, so the perspective of that we were watching the milestone video is taken from one of the two cameras depicted in what we see in Exhibit 1, is that right?
Yes,
Is
the lower one.
The lower one on the corner of the store, that's why you catch the Speedway sign.
Yes.
Okay.
No issue.
Thank you. All right. If you could take that down, please. And now I'd like you to focus a little bit more on what you're doing these days in the business technology unit. All right. We know when you began in that job. Can you talk to the jury a little bit about what the business technology unit does with body-worn cameras?
So Minneapolis Police uses body-worn cameras. As of now, every sworn employee has a body-worn camera. My unit manages the program. So we are the primary point of contact with our body camera vendor, which is a company called Axon. When cameras are shipped to us, we set them up for use. We assign them to officers in the system. We make sure that officers are trained on how to use them. And we manage the back-end software, which is called evidence.com, where all the body camera footage is stored and retrievable and managed. And my unit also employs 2 full-time auditors who audit the body camera program to ensure that officers are following the body camera policy, that they're turning them on when they're supposed to, that they're doing the checks that they're supposed to, and that the system is working well.
And you're familiar with the Minneapolis Police Department body-worn camera policy?
Yes.
And this is something, obviously, in 1989, officers were not wearing body cameras. They weren't invented.
Right.
Right. When did body-worn cameras become more commonly used?
We started piloting them, I believe, in late 2015 or 16, and went with Axon after piloting several companies. The initial rollout was to patrol officers in 2016 and 17, and now we've finished rolling out to the entire department.
And Lieutenant, were you involved in the development of the body-worn camera policy and program?
Not so much in the development of it. I was at the SIC at the time.
In Minneapolis Police Department, body-worn camera policy is in the manual at 4-223, is that right?
Yes.
And at this time, I'm going to offer Exhibit 214, which is the body-worn camera policy 4-223.
No objection there.
214 is received.
And we're not going to publish that now because it's a lot of reading, but if you could please.
Thank you.
Sure. But if you could just give us a very high-level summary of what the body-worn camera policy requires.
Sure. So it requires that officers working in uniform always wear their body-worn camera, that they have it on in a standby mode whenever they're working, and that they activate it and record video when they're responding to a call or when they're meeting with members of the public or any other time there could be anything that we might want to review later. And so it also mandates that investigators who work in plainclothes wear cameras when they're doing certain enforcement actions like executing a search warrant and this kind of thing.
Some of the body-worn camera footage associated with this case doesn't, the sound doesn't kick in for a little bit. There's the image, but there's no sound. Can you explain why that is?
When the cameras are on but not activated, they're actually recording much like a DVR on your TV. When you press the button to activate it, that kicks on the sound and it saves the previous 30 seconds of video without sound. So the thought is that whatever caused you to turn on your camera would be captured because it was being recorded, and now the sound comes on when you activate it.
But there's safe to say there's nothing wrong with the camera and nothing wrong with the operator if the first 30 seconds is without sound. That's the way it's
Exactly as it's supposed to work.
Okay. And then can you tell us a little bit about what these cameras look like and how they're actually physically attached to the officer?
Sure. They're about the size of a deck of cards, a little black rectangle. There's a number of ways to wear them. Most officers use the magnetic mount, which is basically a pretty strong magnet that goes inside the shirt, and then a mounting plate that goes outside the shirt, and then the camera attaches to that mounting plate. So when the magnet is engaged, it's affixed. A lot of them wear it either in their shirt pocket or up on high on the chest, which is where they're supposed to wear it to capture, a view of everything going on in front of them.
Right. And every officer is issued a body-worn camera. Is there a way to associate particular footage with a particular officer?
Yes, every camera has an electronic serial number, and when we issue a camera, we go into evidence.com and we find that officer in the roster and we say, this camera is assigned to this officer, and then that camera is linked to them until we remove that link.
And so much like you're able to do with the milestone, you're able to attribute particular footage to a particular officer at a particular time.
Yes.
And you've reviewed body-worn camera footage before, is that right?
Yes.
And is it generally a workable system? Does it capture what it's supposed to capture?
Very much so, yes.
And are you able to also associate particular footage with case numbers just like with the milestone?
Yes, so when an officer is responding to an incident and records video after the incident, we call it tagging. They tag their video with the case control number from the incident. And that way, when the video is uploaded into evidence.com, it is tagged as being associated with that case.
How long is the footage retained?
Depending on the type of video, the minimum retention is a year. For any sort of evidence thing, it's 7 years. And then for significant incidents, it could be indefinite.
And does Minneapolis Police Department provide body-worn camera footage to other agencies upon request if they're investigating a case, or a prosecuting agency if they're using that footage to prosecute a case?
Yes.
How does the MPD physically provide that footage to the agency?
The most common way is to set up a partnership within evidence.com. So for example, the county attorney, who uses a lot of our video, they have an account, they're a partner agency, and so we can share with them within evidence.com to give them access. And then they log in to the same system we are, and they can see the video we've shared with them.
Obviously, there were several police officers involved in the May 25, 2020 incident we were talking about, and Minneapolis Police provided a number of body-worn camera footage to the prosecuting agency and the BCA. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And are you familiar with the specific officers who responded to the scene of the incident that occurred from 8 o'clock in the evening to about 8:30 that Memorial Day?
Yes.
And would you agree that those officers included Officer Chauvin, Officer King, Officer Lane, and Officer Tao?
Yes.
And upon your review, does it appear that each of the four mentioned officers wore body-worn cameras during that incident?
Yes.
And you were able to associate it with the same case number you recited earlier, is that right?
Yes.
And this footage was uploaded and retained by the MPD servers, correct?
Correct.
You viewed some of the footage involved with the various officers?
Yes.
All right, this time I'm going to ask you to review a series of and to introduce and publish a series of body-worn cameras associated with particular officers in this case. And the first piece of footage that I'm going to ask you to discuss is it's marked for identification as Exhibit 47, and it is the body-worn camera footage of Officer Lane. At this time, I will offer Exhibit 47.
Any objection?
Subject to what we've discussed, Your Honor, no objection.
With that exception, it is received.
And at this time, I'll ask to publish Exhibit 47. And please hit pause. And if you could enlarge and highlight the time and date stamp, please. Oh, then I will use my glasses. All right, sir, just to draw your attention to the upper right-hand corner of the footage that you're seeing here. Are you able to see the date and time stamp?
Yes,
Okay, and it says 5/25/2020,
correct.
right? And the time is expressed in military time, is that correct?
Yes,
So 20:07 would be about 8:07 p.m.
yes,
and some change here you can see on the footage. Axon body, that's just simply the brand of the body camera, is that right?
yes,
And then there's some serial numbers on the footage as well?
correct.
Okay, and so again, this particular footage, Exhibit 47, is associated with Officer Lane based on the serial number that you see, and the footage begins at about 8:07, 58 seconds. Is that right?
Yes.
All right, please continue publishing the exhibit. And this is that sound-free lag, right? There's no glitch here.
Right. 30 seconds in, the sound will kick in.
Gentlemen. Sir.
The driver in there?
Blue bed.
Only which one?
The
Okay.
blue one over there. Which one?
Yep. Just head back in. They're moving around a lot.
Pause. And the record should reflect that the time noted here is 8:09 and about 27 seconds. Is that right?
Yes.
Please resume.
Let me see your hands.
Damn, man.
Stay in the car. Let me see your other hand.
I'm sorry.
Let me see your other hand.
Please, Mazat.
Both
Do
hands.
something.
Put your fucking hands up right now. Let me see your other hand.
All right. What I do though? What do we do?
Put your hand up there. Put your fucking hand up there. Jesus Christ. Keep your fucking hands on the wheel. Keep your fucking hands on the
Yes,
wheel.
sir. I'm sorry, Mazat.
Who else is in the
I
car?
got shot. That's my
Put
friend.
your foot back
I'm
in.
sorry, Mazat. I'm so sorry. God dang, man. Man, I got shot the same way as I was before.
Okay, well, when I say let me see your hands, you put your fucking hands up.
Man, I'm so sorry, Mazat.
You got them?
Man, dang, man.
Put your hands on top of your head.
Man, last time I got shot like that, I was
Hands on top of your head. Hands on top of your head. Step out of the vehicle and step away from me, all right? Step out and face away. Step out and face
Okay,
away.
Mr. Officer, please don't shoot me. Please, man.
I'm not gonna shoot you. Step out and face
No,
away.
I'm looking you eye to eye, man. Please don't shoot me, man.
I'm not shooting you, man.
Please, man. I just lost my mom,
I'm
man.
taking one out. Step out and face away.
So sorry.
Step out and face away.
Please don't shoot me, Mr. Officer. Please. Don't shoot me, man.
Step out and face away.
Can you not shoot me, man?
I'm not shooting you. Step out and face
Okay,
away.
okay. Please, man. Please. I didn't know, man.
Get out of the car.
I didn't know, Mr. Officer. I didn't know.
Put your fucking hands right now.
Stop moving.
Put your hand behind your back then.
I'm not gonna do nothing.
Face in the door.
Get those on.
Hey, you come back. Stay in the car.
I'm sorry, Mr. Officer. I feel my knees, man. Oh, man.
Stop resisting there.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I want to do nothing. I don't care. Please,
Stand up.
please, man.
Against the wall.
Oh, me?
Yes.
What I doing?
We're figuring out what's going on. Drop the bag.
Figure out what's going on.
Adam,
What's your problem?
Said something to him. It ain't us.
we was getting a ride,
I
sir.
just got my phone fixed.
You can ask
It's my
Adam.
ex-man.
Adam knows me.
It's my ex.
Are you good?
He keep coming. Get my car.
That's it, man.
No,
You
they
can
ain't
ask
Church Floyd.
Mr.
You got
Adam,
ID?
sir. You can ask Mr. Adam about me.
Do you have ID?
I'm on 38th to Chicago.
Man,
320 we're code for.
you can ask
38th to
Mr. Adam
Chicago.
about me, sir. I just came to buy a tablet, and when I bought a tablet, he didn't
Oh
work.
my
with whatever.
God. He didn't even do nothing.
Here you go, sir.
You have ID?
No, I don't. My
You got
name's
anything with your
Chauvin
name on it?
Hill. No.
Sir.
Okay.
I just came over to get my phone. You see, I don't have a purse or nothing.
Mr. Adam
And my
knows
daughter
me,
is on her
man.
way to get me.
What's his deal?
I don't
Mr. Adam
know.
knows me, sir.
That's
His-
my
he
ex.
just-
I don't
he
know.
just-
Why is he getting all squirrely and not showing us his hands and just being all weird like that?
Because he's been shot
been
before.
trying-
He don't
Well, I
wanna-
get that, but still, when officers say get out of the car,
What's going
is he
on?
drunk? Is he on something?
Oh, he got a thing going on. I'm telling you
What
about
does
the
that mean?
police. We have problems all the time when they come, especially when that man took that gun like that. It's been one.
What's your first
He's
name?
pretty
His name
good.
is George Floyd.
What is it?
He's a good guy. George Floyd, she said.
Can you spell that?
I don't know how to spell George, sir.
Her name.
My name is, my name.
Your name,
Martha
yeah.
Renee Hill.
Can you spell it?
S-H-A-W-A-N-D-A.
S-H-A-W.
Yeah, right, sir.
Yeah, he okay.
Mr. Adam,
Just put him in the car.
Mr. Adam can
Shawanda what?
Hill. Renee, R-E-N-E-E.
What's your last name?
Hill, H-I-L-L.
And your date of
But
birth?
y'all coming and get me 127.75. Okay.
Okay, well, so here's the thing. Someone passed a fake bill in there.
Oh,
We come over here, he starts grabbing for the keys and all that stuff. Starts getting weird, not showing us his hands. I don't know what's going on, so you're coming out of the car. So just hang tight right here. Stay right here, please.
ouchie,
What are you on something right now?
No, nothing.
You actually
Okay.
were at it.
Let's go.
Yeah, man.
Let's go.
Yeah, man. Yes. Yes, I was just moving earlier.
Let's go.
Man, what up? All right, let me calm down now. It's feeling better now.
Keep walking.
Okay, now do me one favor, man.
No, when we get to the car, let's get to the car, man. Come on.
Dang, man. Oh, man. God, don't leave me, man. Please, man, don't leave me, man.
Here.
I
I want to watch that car too, so get him in.
Stand up. Stop falling down.
I'm not supposed to, man.
Stand up.
I'm not supposed to.
Stay on your feet and face the car door.
Man.
You get a search on him?
Please. Please, God. Can I talk to you, man? I just want to talk to you,
No.
man. Please, let me talk to you,
Man,
please.
you ain't listening to nothing
I
we're
know.
saying, so we're not going to listen to nothing you're saying.
Can you watch that car? Just make sure no one goes in it.
I hear you, but you are going to face the door right now.
Listen up. Stop.
I'll do anything. That's anything y'all tell me to do, man. I'm not a resistor, man. I'm not. You can ask him. He know me, you
Check
know.
that side.
God, man, I'm gonna do nothing like that, y'all. Why is it going on like this? Look at my wrist, Mr. Officer. I'm not that kind of guy.
Other side.
Mr. Officer, I'm not that kind of guy.
Stop.
You please? I'm not that kind of guy, Mr. Officer. Please.
Face away.
Please, man. Don't leave me by myself, man. Please. I'm just claustrophobic. That's it.
Well, you're still going in the car.
Anything sharp on you?
I won't do nothing to hurt y'all, Mr. Officer.
Anything sharp?
No, sir.
Not even like a comb or nothing?
Nothing, Mr. I don't have nothing. Why y'all doing me like that, Mr. Officer? Please, crack it doing it for me and stuff, man. I am claustrophobic for real, Mr. Officer.
You got him?
Could you please crack it for me, please?
Yes, I'll
Remember my
crack
name.
it.
Stay
I
with me,
will.
man.
I will.
Please stay with me, man. Thank you. God, man. I didn't know all this was gonna happen, man. Please, man. I just want my hands free. I don't want none of y'all, man. Nothing.
You got it.
Inside your pocket real quick on your shirt. I'm listening.
And I understand that people do stuff and
All right, he's good. That's guns, whatever. There's nothing worth it.
Okay.
Grab a seat.
Okay.
having trouble walking.
Because I was my
I'll roll the windows down, okay?
Please, man. Please don't do that.
Take a seat.
I'm going in, Mr. Officer. I'm going in.
No, you're not.
I gotta go in.
Take a seat.
Grab a seat, man.
Man, y'all don't believe me, Mr. Officer.
Take a seat.
I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not that kind of guy, man.
Take a seat.
Y'all, I'm gonna die in here.
Take a seat.
I'm gonna die, man.
You need to take a seat right now.
And I just had COVID, man. I don't want to go back to that.
Okay, I'll roll the windows
No.
down. Hey, listen.
Dang, man.
Listen.
I'm not that kind of guy.
I'll roll the windows down
Please,
and you pull
man.
your legs in, all right? I'll
Y'all
put the air on.
stop. Look at that. Look at that.
Not even listening.
Look at it. Look at it.
We can fix
Look.
it, but not while you're standing out
Okay,
here.
man. God, y'all do me bad, man. Man, I don't want to try to win. I don't want to try to win. I don't want to win. I'm claustrophobic.
You ain't gonna win.
I'm claustrophobic. I got anxiety. I don't want to do nothing to
I'll
them.
roll the window down.
Man, I'm scared as fuck, man. When I start breathing, it's gonna go off on me, man.
Pull your legs in.
Okay. Let me count to three. Let me count to three and I'm going in. Please. I'm not trying to win. I'll get on the ground, anything. I can't stand this shit, man. He know it. Okay, can I talk to you, please?
You get in this car with your talk.
I'm claustrophobic.
I'm hearing you, but you're not working with me.
God, I'm claustrophobic, man.
I'll have your butt over here. I'm going to pull you
Get in
in.
the car.
in the front? Please.
No, you're not getting in the
I'm
front.
claustrophobic. I was
Get in the car.
Okay, man, okay. I'm not a bad guy, man.
Get in the car.
I'm not a bad guy. Man. Please, please.
Take a seat.
Please, man. Please. No.
Take a seat.
I can't choke. I can't breathe, officer. Please.
Fine.
My wrist, man. Please. I can't take it, man. I can't. I'm on the ground.
Get in the squad.
I'm on the ground. I'm going down. I'm going down.
Squad.
I'm not going to breathe. I know I can't breathe. I just had COVID, man. I can't breathe. Please, man. Please listen to me.
Do you want to
Please
jail?
listen to me.
He's under arrest right now for forgery.
I can't.
Okay, go know what's going on.
For what?
Take him out and just
For what?
MRE.
Please, man. I can't fucking breathe.
Here, come on out.
Look at you. Thank you.
Yeah, just when you get up the...
On the ground.
I appreciate that. I do.
You got your restraint? Hobble.
That's my easy. I can't breathe. Jesus Christ. I can't breathe.
Thank you.
Can't breathe.
Stop moving.
Mama.
Yeah.
Mama.
Stay off.
Mama.
One of the front pouches
Mama.
on my right side bag.
Mama.
Get EMS go to...
You're the best guy.
All right. Oh my God.
Sorry, go to
I
jail.
can't believe this. I can't believe this, man. Mama, I love you. Reese, I love you.
You got hobble?
To my kids, I love them. I'm dead.
Mine's in my side. It's listed. It's labeled. It says hobble. It's on
I
the
can't
top.
breathe for nothing, man. It's cold-blooded, man.
Do a lot of
Mama, I love you. I can't do nothing.
on their way.
My face is gone.
Do you want a hobble?
I can't breathe, man.
Okay.
Please.
All right.
Please let me stand.
No.
Please, man, I can't breathe.
You get up on the sidewalk, please. One side or the other, please.
My face getting bad.
Here, should we get his legs up?
Oh
Or
my
just good?
God.
Oh my God.
All right. Hopefully, Park's still sitting on that car there.
Look at my
He
face,
was acting very
man.
all shady like she was in there. I'm assuming so. He wouldn't get out of the car. He wasn't following instructions.
Please.
Yeah, it's across the street. Park's watching it.
Please.
Two other people with
Please,
him.
I can't breathe. Please, man. Please, somebody help me.
You can probably step it up then. You got it?
Sir, I'm showing you at 20, 21, and 25 seconds, so 8, 21, and 25 seconds. Based on your experience and training, do you have an opinion as to what that item is?
That's a body cam.
Please resume.
Please, man, somebody help me. Relax. I can't breathe.
You're talking.
You're talking fine.
Deep breath.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. My body's just tired of me.
Relax.
Man, I can't breathe my face. Just get up.
He's got to be on something.
What do you want?
I can't breathe. Please, the knee in my neck. I can't breathe shit. I will. I can't move.
That is.
Mama.
On a weed pipe on him, there might be something else with it. Might be like PCP or something. Is that the shaking of the eyes, right? Is PCP?
My knee, my neck.
Where their eyes like shake back and forth really fast?
I'm through. I got the movie. My stomach hurts. My neck hurts. Everything hurts. There's water or something. Please. Please. I can't breathe, officer.
Talking. Father,
They will kill me. They will kill me, man.
It's a heck of a lot of
Come on, man. I cannot breathe. I cannot breathe. They'll kill me. They'll kill me. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
We tried that for 10 minutes.
Please, please, please.
You roll him on the side. I just worry about the delirium or whatever.
That's probably really down what's coming.
Okay, that's false. Yeah, I think he's passing out.
This all has a post available if you could start for an assault at next door to 2313 Washington Street.
All right, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Good so far.
my knee might be a little scratched, but I'll survive. breathing. Okay.
Don't come over here. Don't come over here.
Up on the sidewalk.
Yeah, we need you to keep them different. Yeah, you gotta have them come up. Back off. Get off. Get off the street.
We're going on the side.
He's not responsive right now, bro. Bro, look at him. He's not responsive right now, bro. Bro, are you serious? He's gonna
Yelling.
Is he breathing right now? Check his pulse. Check his pulse. Check his pulse, Kyle. Kyle, check his pulse. Kyle, check his pulse, bro. Bro, check his pulse, bro. What is that? What do you think that is? So you call when he's doing okay? You call when he's doing okay. You call what you do. You call when he's doing okay, bro.
Yes, I am.
Okay, bro, you think that's okay? Check his pulse. Kyle, check his pulse. Check. The man ain't moved yet, bro. The man ain't moved yet, bro. Bro, you're a bum, bro. You're a bum, bro. You're definitely a bum, bro.
About 3:30, EMS at Portland and 36, they were advised to
Bro, he has not moved.
You guys what?
A code 3. The college app.
Okay, that's cool. Go back.
give you their updated location. They're ground.
Here we go. Not responsive right now. You guys might want to.
Right now.
Are you serious?
You get another car? Get another car just for crowd.
Let's get them on this.
How you gonna let him kick that like that? You gonna let him put that man in front of you, bro? Huh?
Like what?
Bro, he's not even fucking moving right now, bro. He's not even fucking moving, bro. You gonna just sit there with your knee on his head, bro? Don't touch him.
Need this? You want one of us to ride with?
Yeah.
Sir, drawing your attention then to what's been marked as Exhibit 43, which is the body-worn camera footage of Officer King. I'll offer Exhibit 43.
No objection, Your Honor.
43 is received.
Publish Exhibit 43.
go.
Before they drive off, act like you, this is a fake bill from the gentleman.
The driver in there?
Which one?
That blue one over there.
Which one?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Squad 3, we're going to be out with Minnesota BRJ, Boy Robert John 026 at 38th Street.
I'm right here, bro.
All right, here. I appreciate that, man.
I'm cool, bro. That's your.
Put your hand up!
Let me get over here, sir.
No, you're going to stay right there for me.
Just us, man. Me and
Now you got one more back here.
it's a lady.
The lady?
Yes, sir. Female. Giving us a ride. Trying to get her.
It's her car?
No, it's his other friend car, sir. She was giving her and I a ride.
Yeah. All right. So it's whose car? Your friend's car, you said?
That's his friend's car. Her name, I forget. Her name is I forgot her name, but I know his co-worker, and he was giving her and I a ride. This young lady right here.
Yeah.
And I a ride.
Okay.
And we was just waiting on him or whatever.
All right. You step here, or what stopped you here at Cup Foods?
I did business with Adam. I was trying to buy me a laptop.
All right.
And I did buy one, but it wasn't working.
Yeah.
So he gave me my change back. You can ask him. You can ask him.
Okay. Do you have your ID on you?
I can give him. How you doing, sir?
I'm good.
I'm just reaching your this.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Please,
I want to stay right
please,
here, bro.
please,
Yep,
man.
I appreciate that.
Please, please. I didn't know, man. I didn't know.
But Adam knows me, bro.
Stay here. You take a seat in that car. In the car.
Yes, sir.
Stop moving. Put your hands behind your back then.
I'm not gonna do nothing.
Face the floor. Hey, you come back. Stay in the car.
I get on my knees, whatever. Oh, man.
Stop resisting, man.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
What's wrong, man?
Stand up.
Please, man.
Stand up
I
for me.
want to go back.
Stand up.
I want to go back there. I ain't gonna do that. That's wrong, man.
Come on, walk with me.
This is like
Walk
I
with
was
me.
looking
Walk with me.
at my feet, man. God damn, man.
Stand up.
Why you doing me like this?
Stand up.
God damn,
Come on.
man. I just want to stop doing it.
We're trying to get out of the street here so you don't get hit by a car.
That's it, man. I was looking, man. But I ain't doing it wrong. That's all I was
Take a
saying.
seat. Sit down for me.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Mr.
Yeah,
Officer.
sit down.
Thank you, man. God.
Sit all the way down.
Yes,
Flatten your
sir.
feet
Yes,
out.
sir. I will. Please, man. Please, man.
You got an ID on you?
I got one at home.
All right, what's your name?
George.
George?
George Perry Floyd. I don't know what's going on. Man, that's it.
Spell it for me.
G-E-O
Yep.
R-G-E.
Last name?
Floyd. Yeah, man. F-L-O-I-D.
F-L-O-Y-D?
Yeah.
Date of birth?
And last time I got Tim, October 14th,
October 14th?
73. Man, I got shot last time. Same way, man.
If you mind doing me a favor, just run this
Nah,
back for
man.
me.
I was
George Floyd. Thank you.
man, he was looking for officer. I don't want no problem. I ain't looking for nothing.
Man, do you know why we're here?
Why?
We're here because it sounds like you gave a fake bill to the individuals in there.
Yeah.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
And do you know why we pulled you out of the car? Because you was not listening to anything we told you.
Right, I didn't know what was going on.
You listen to us and we will tell you what's going on, all right? When you're moving around like that, that makes us think way more is going on than we need to know.
Right. And that's all I had was officer was.
Gotcha, all right. We're going to put you in the back of a squad, all right?
So, can I talk to you?
Yeah, we're going to sort all this out, all right?
Please, man.
Is that your car key?
It's my sister.
Key fob right there?
Yes, sir. Man, I got one problem.
Yeah, I'm going to hold on to that for you, all right? Stand up.
Please, man. All right. Can I take you? Because I was so messing with this. I was like right now. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, and look at you're still able to reach your side. You're making me nervous.
That's why I was feeling. Look at my wrist. Look at it.
Yeah, I got you. We'll fix all that. We'll fix all that, but you got to walk with me.
Oh,
Are you on something right now?
no, nothing.
Because you acting real erratic.
Man, I'm scared, man.
Let's go.
God,
You got foam around your mouth, too?
Yes. Yes, I was just moving earlier.
Okay.
Man, what up? All right, let me calm down now. This is a little better now. All right, okay. Do me one favor, man.
And we're going to talk about that once we get to the car. Stop moving around.
Man. Oh, man. God, don't leave me, man. Please, man, don't leave me, man. Oh, please don't leave me, man.
Yeah, just unlock the door for me.
I just beat it thing.
Stand up. Stop falling down.
I'm claustrophobic, man.
Stand up.
I'm claustrophobic.
Stay on your feet and face the car door.
Please, man. Please.
No.
Please.
Not yet. Keep the door open. Keep the door
I
open.
don't want to talk to you, man. Please, let me talk to you.
Man, you ain't listening to nothing we're saying, so we're not going to listen to nothing you're saying.
I'm claustrophobic.
Face the door.
Please, man. I'm claustrophobic.
I hear you, but you are going to face this door right now.
Stop.
I'll do anything. I'll do anything, man. I'm not an exister, man. I'm not. You can ask him. They know me.
Check that side.
God, man, I'm going to do anything against y'all. Why is it going on like this? Look at my wrist, Mr. Olsen. I'm not that kind of guy.
Sit still.
I'm not that kind of guy. Please. I'm not that kind of guy, Mr. Olsen. Please. God. Please, man. Don't leave me by myself, man. Please. I'm just claustrophobic. That's it.
Got anything sharp on you?
I won't do the work job.
Do you have anything sharp on you?
Sir.
Not even like a comb or nothing?
I don't have nothing. Why y'all doing me like that? I mean, I was please back and looking for me and stuff, man.
Stand up straight.
I'm claustrophobic for real, Mr. Officer.
You got him?
Could you please crack it for me, please?
Yes, I'll
Remember my
crack
name.
it.
Stay
I
with me,
will.
man.
I will.
Please stay with me, man. Thank you. God, man. I didn't know all this was gonna happen, man. Please, man. I just want my hands free. I don't do nothing of y'all, man. Nothing.
Here, you get that inside in
And
the
I
pocket real
understand.
quick on your side?
Hey,
I'm listening.
And I understand that people do stuff and y'all don't know me.
Take a seat.
Okay.
Why are you having trouble walking?
Because my hands
Roll the
are
windows
hurt.
down,
We will,
okay?
please, man. Please don't do
Take a seat.
I'm going in, Mr. Officer. I'm going
No,
in.
you're not.
I gotta go in.
Take a seat.
Grab a seat, man.
Why y'all don't believe me, Mr. Officer?
Take a seat.
I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not that kind of guy, man.
Take a seat.
I'm a diet.
Take a
I'm a
seat.
diet, man.
You need to take a seat right now.
And I just had COVID, man. I don't want to go back to that.
Take a
I'll
seat.
roll the windows
No.
down. Hey, listen.
Dang, man.
Listen.
I'm not that kind of guy.
I'll roll the windows down
Please,
and pull
man.
your legs in, all right? I'll
Y'all
put the air on.
God, look at that. Look
Look,
at
you're
that.
not even listening.
Look at it. Look at it.
We can fix this right now while you're standing out
Okay,
here.
man. God, y'all do me bad, man. Man, I don't want to try to win. I don't want to try to win. I don't want to win. I'm claustrophobic.
You ain't gonna win.
I'm claustrophobic. I got anxiety. I don't want to do nothing to
I'll
them.
roll the windows down.
Man, I'm scared as fuck,
That's
man.
okay. You made a mistake somewhere
When
down
I start
the road.
breathing, it's going to go off on me,
Get in
man.
there.
Pull your legs in.
Okay. Let me count to three. Let me count to three and I'm going in. Please.
You can't win.
Please, I'm not trying to win. I'm not trying to win. I'll get on the ground, anything. I
Get in the car.
He know it. He know it too, Mr. Officer. Y'all hear me? Don't do me like that, man.
Get in the
Please.
car.
Okay, can I talk to you, please?
Yes, you get in this car. We can talk.
I am, Mr. I'm claustrophobic.
I'm hearing you, but
claustrophobic,
you're not
man.
working with me.
God, I'm claustrophobic, man.
Get in the
Come
car.
on, man.
Here, I'm gonna pull you
Get in the
Can you
car.
put me in the front? Please.
No, you're not getting in the
I'm
front.
claustrophobic, Mr. Officer.
Get in the car.
Okay, man, okay. I'm not a bad guy, man.
In the car.
I'm not a bad guy. Man. Please, officer. Please.
Sit.
Please.
Take a seat.
Please, man. Please. No, take a seat. I can't choke. I can't breathe, officer. Please. Please.
Fine.
My wrist, man. My wrist, man, please. I can't. And I'm on the ground. I'm on the ground, y'all. I'm on the ground. I'm going down. I'm going down. I'm going down.
Get in the squad.
I'm going down. I'm going down. I'm not going to leave you. Bro, you won't die a heart attack, I know I can't breathe. Get in the car. I just COVID, man. I can't breathe. I
Take a
can't
seat.
breathe. Please, man. Please listen to me.
Is he going to jail?
Listen to me.
He's under arrest right now for forgery.
I tell you.
Can we figure out what's going on?
For what? For what? Please, man. I can't fucking breathe.
Here, come on out.
Look at you. Thank you. Thank you.
Get him down the ground. Yeah, on the ground. On the ground.
My wrist. Right.
You got your restraint? Hobble?
I can't breathe.
Okay.
I can't breathe.
Grab that. Get him.
Jesus Christ. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Thank you. I can't breathe.
Stop moving.
Mama. Mama.
Yeah,
Mama.
it's in the,
Mama.
one of the front pouches
Mama.
on my right side bag.
Mama. Mama.
You're the arrest guy.
All right. All right. Oh my God.
It's going to go to
I
jail.
can't believe this. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I can't believe this, man. Mama, I love you. Reese, I love you.
You got hobble?
Tell my kids I love them. I'm dead.
Mine's in my side. It's listed. It's labeled. It says hobble. It's in
I
the
can't
top.
breathe for nothing, man. It's cold blooded, man.
You're doing a lot of talking.
Mama, I love you. I can't do nothing.
Yeah, EMS is on their way.
My face is gone. I can't breathe, man. Please. Please let me stay in.
No.
Please, man, I can't breathe.
Get up on the sidewalk, please. One side or the other, please.
My face kind of bad.
Here, should we get his legs up?
Oh my God.
Nope, just leave him.
Oh
Just
my
leave him.
God.
Leave him. Yeah, just leave him.
All right.
I'm dead.
The park's still sitting on the car.
Look at my face, man.
I believe so. We found a pipe on
Get
him.
out of the car.
I hate you to this real. Please.
Yeah, across the street, park's washing.
Please.
Two other people with him.
Please, I can't breathe. Please, man. Please, somebody help me.
Probably step it up then. You got it?
Please, man, somebody help me. I can't breathe.
You're doing fine. You're talking fine.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. My body's just tired this thing. Relax. Man, I can't breathe my face. Just get up.
What do you want?
I can't breathe. Please, the knee in my neck. I can't breathe shit.
Get up, get in the car, man.
I will.
Get up, get in the car.
I can't move. Mama.
Put a weed pipe on him. There might
Mama.
be something else with it. Might be like.
I can't. I'm pissed.
Is that the
All right.
shaking of the eyes, right? It's PCP.
My knee, my neck,
Are their eyes like shaking
I'm
back and
through.
forth really fast?
I'm through. I'm claustrophobic. My stomach hurts. My neck hurts. Everything hurts. Get some water or something. Please. Please. I can't breathe.
You're doing talking. A lot of
They
yelling.
will kill me. They will kill me, man.
Takes a heck of a lot of oxygen to
Come on, man. I cannot breathe. I cannot breathe. They will kill me. They will kill me. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Roll him on the side.
No, just stand, put where you got him.
I just worry about the delirium or whatever.
Well, that's fine, but yeah, we're breathing.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Hard to talk when you're there, bro. But it's hard to talk to the ground. You're in a bum right now. You can get him off the ground, bro. You can get him off the ground. You can in a bum right now. He enjoying that. He enjoying that shit. He enjoying that shit. He a fucking bum, bro. He enjoying that shit right now, bro. You could have fucking put him in the car by now, bro. He's not resisting arrest or nothing. You enjoying it. Look at you. Your body language is crazy. You fucking bum. What? Yeah, I already know that, bro. I trained with half of these dumbass dudes at the academy, bro. You know that's bogus right now, bro. You know it's bogus. You can't look at me like a man because you a bum, bro. He's not even resisting arrest right now, bro.
I think he's just messing up.
He's breathing right now, bro. You think that's cool? You think that's cool, though, right? What's your...
Chauvin, the closest available, if you could start for an assault at next door to 2313 Washington Street.
All right, don't.
Yeah, I mean,
Good so far.
my knee might be a little scratched, but
I think that's cool, though, bro. You're a bum, bro. You're a bum for that. You're a bum for that, bro. You get mad. You see here, stopping his breathing right now. The dude's about to go out right now, bro.
He's breathing.
Bro. You just gonna choke him like that? What I know what you want to do. I'm not scared of you, bro. You fucking pussy ass dude, bro.
Don't come over here. Don't come over here.
Up on the sidewalk.
Yeah, we need you to keep some distance. Yeah, you got an ambulance coming.
He's not responsive right now. He's not responsive right now. He's not responsive right now. He's not responsive right now, bro. No, bro, look at him. He's not responsive right now, bro. Bro, are you serious? He's gonna just here with that on his neck, bro? Is he breathing right now? Check his pulse. Check his pulse. Check his pulse, Kyle.
212 and 222, suspect is sitting on the desk, 20 to 30 years old. The victim is crying, and the suspect has a gun. He's going to take good
What is
advocacy.
that? What do you think that is? You call when he doing okay? You call when he doing okay? You call what you doing? You call when he doing okay, bro?
Yes, I am from Minneapolis.
Bro, you think that's okay? Check his pulse.
Check his right
Child, check his pulse. Check. The man ain't moved yet, bro. The man ain't moved yet, bro.
He's not moving yet.
Bro, you're a bum, bro. You're a bum, bro. You're definitely a bum, bro.
About 3:30, EMS at Portland and 36, they were advised to
Bro,
close
he
their...
has not moved, not
Advise what?
one time.
I've called 3. Acknowledge that.
Copy, I was just giving you their updated location. They're en route.
He's not fucking moving.
here we go.
Bro, he was just moving when I walked up there. Bro, you just got out, you got back out here, bro. You just got back out here. Bro, he doesn't have to, bro, he's not fucking moving. Bro, are you 1087, bro? You're a bum, bro, or 987.
212 and 222, the suspect is leaving in SEC. Unknown, going to going northbound. The victim is in the back of the bus. 12 copies, do we have
Right now.
Bro, he's not even fucking moving. Get off his fucking neck, bro. Get off of his neck. Yes, look at that, bro. Are you serious?
Third precinct sergeant to acknowledge person with a knife to make different movements.
Get out of the car. Get what? The car.
Let's get him on this.
And we're going to stop playing at that point. If you can take the image off the screen, please. Sir, the way the body-worn cameras work, they have an internal microphone. Is that right?
Yes.
And it's located fairly close to the officer, and you can hear, even with background noise, officers having conversations in conversational tones. They don't have to yell at each other. Is that right?
Correct.
There was also a body-worn camera footage taken from the camera issued to Officer 2 Tao. At this time, State offers Exhibit 49.
Any objection?
No objection.
49 is received.
And asked to publish 49.
Don't get in the car. He know it. He know it, superstar. Y'all hear me? Don't do me like that, man.
Get in the car.
Okay, I told you to please.
You get in this car. We can talk.
I am claustrophobic. I'm
You're
claustrophobic,
not
man.
working with me.
God, I'm claustrophobic, man. In the car, man.
Get in the car.
Get me in the front. Please.
No, you're not getting in the
I'm
front.
claustrophobic,
Get in the car.
Okay, man, okay. I'm not a bad guy, man.
Get in the car.
I'm not a bad guy.
You ain't gonna win.
Oh, man. Oh, please, officer. Please, please.
Take a seat.
Please, man. Please. No, I can't choke. I can't breathe, officer. Please.
You're talking.
Please.
Sit down. Fine.
My wrist, man. My wrist, man, please. Okay, I'm gonna lay on the ground. I'm gonna lay on the ground. I'm gonna lay on the ground, yo. I'm gonna lay on the ground. I'm going down. I'm going down. I'm going down. I'm not gonna run, man. Right. I know I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
You're talking and you're not oxygen. Not breathe.
I just had COVID, man. I can't breathe.
We're just gonna have to He's under arrest right now for forgery.
I can't.
Don't know what's going on.
Let's
take him out.
For what? Please, man. I can't fucking breathe.
Hey, come on out.
Look at you. Thank you.
Lay him down.
Yeah, just on the ground.
I appreciate that.
Bro, you can't win, man. Now you worry. Right.
You got your,
You guys got one?
strength.
Can't breathe. Okay. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Not moving.
Mama.
You guys got
Mama.
Yeah.
Mama.
Stay up.
Mama.
One of the front couches.
Mama.
On my right side back.
Mama. Mama. All right. All right. Oh my God. I can't believe. I can't believe. I can't believe. I can't believe, man. Mama, I love you. Reese, I love you. Get my kids, I love them. I'm dead. I can't breathe for nothing, man. It's cold-blooded, man.
There you go.
You're doing a lot of talking.
Mama, I love you.
Are we calling for
I
EMS?
can't do
Yeah,
nothing.
EMS is on their way.
My face is gone.
Well, do you want to hobble at this point then?
I can't breathe, man. Please. Please let me stand.
No.
Please, man, I can't breathe.
You got one sidewalk, please. One sidewalk, please.
My face is bad. Oh my God.
I'm dead. Oh. Look at my face, man.
If I could divert you just to the south, 2114 Avenue South, for your former navigation
I ain't too many Please.
Across the street, parts watching.
Please.
Two other people with
Please, I can't breathe. Please, man. Please, somebody.
EMS coming code 3.
Probably step it up then.
EMS.
Please, man, somebody help me.
Relax.
I can't breathe.
Everyone fine, you're talking fine.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
He's talking, so he's breathing.
My brother just died yesterday.
Relax.
Man, I can't breathe my face. Just get up.
What do you want?
I can't breathe. Please, the knee in my neck. I can't breathe shit.
Well, get up, get in the car, man.
I will.
Get up, get in the car.
I can't move.
Just wipe the whole. Get up, get in the car.
Mama.
Get up.
Mama. I can't.
Get
I'm
y'all
pissed.
Is that the
All right.
You can't win.
My knee.
You
My
can't
neck.
win, man.
I'm through.
I know you in
I'm
there, you
through.
didn't listen.
I'm claustrophobic. My stomach hurts. My neck hurts. Everything hurts. Get some water or something. Please. Please. I can't breathe, officer. They will kill me. They will kill me, man.
Bro, with your feet on his neck, man, you get off the
Come on, man.
Yeah, that's raw right there with his feet on his neck, man. Yeah, you got your feet right on his neck.
I cannot breathe. I cannot breathe.
Tough guy. Tough guy.
What's that?
Tough guy. He ain't even resisting the rest.
You know how long you fought with him? He's being held down.
They will kill me. I can't breathe.
This is why you don't do drugs, kids.
I can't breathe.
He's talking, so he's fine. Okay. We tried that for 10 minutes.
Bum ass shit, bro.
Okay.
That's some bum ass shit, bro. Y'all know that. You don't gotta sit there with your knee on your neck, bro.
He's talking, he's fine.
Bro, he ain't.
Okay. All right, we're done.
You circle.
Okay, we're
like
done.
in a jiu-jitsu
We're
move,
done.
bro. You try
We're done.
his breathing right there, bro.
Okay.
Like, you don't think that what it is, bro? You don't think nobody understands that shit right there, bro? I trained at the academy, bro. That's some
Oh,
bullshit,
okay,
bro.
you did. Okay.
Right,
Then do you
that's
understand?
bullshit, bro.
All right.
That's bullshit, bro.
Please.
You fucking stopping his breathing right there,
I
bro.
can't breathe.
Okay, he's talking. It's hard to talk when you.
Bro, but you
it's hard to
get him
talk
off
if
the
you're
ground.
if
You're in a
you're
bump
not
right now.
breathing.
You can get him off the
Right?
ground, bro. You can get him off the ground. You being a bum right now.
Were you here the whole
enjoying
time?
that. He enjoying that shit. He enjoying that shit. He a fucking bum, bro. He enjoying that shit right now, bro. You could have fucking put him in the car by now, bro. He's not resisting arrest or nothing.
Talking now?
You enjoying it. Look at you. Your body language explains it. You
Look at
fucking
him.
bum.
Bro, get the fuck off of him.
But I already know that, bro. I trained with half of these bum ass dudes at the academy, bro. You know that's bogus right now, bro. You know it's bogus. You can't even look at me like a man because you a bum, bro. He's not even resisting arrest right now, bro.
Pass out.
That's what happens to the underground.
He's breathing right now, bro. You think that's cool? You think that's cool though, right? What's your badge number, bro? You think that's cool right now, bro? You think that's cool though, bro? You're a bum, bro. You're a bum for that. You're a bum for that, bro. You getting mad. You're just sitting there stopping his breathing right now. The dude about to go out right now, bro. Bro.
Okay.
You just gonna choke him like that? Yeah, no, that's what you want to do. I'm not scared of you, bro. You're a fucking pussy ass dude, bro. What? Bro, look, well, you should check on him. He's not responsive right now.
Back off.
He's not responsive.
Get off the street before you're
responsive right
Okay,
now.
then you indulge.
He's
Get off
not
the street.
responsive right now. He's not responsive right now, bro. No, bro, look at him. He's not responsive right now, bro. Bro, are you serious? He gonna just let him sit there with that on his neck, bro? Is he breathing right now? Check his
How long
pulse.
we have this conversation?
Check his pulse.
Okay.
Check his pulse, Tal. Tal, check his pulse. Tal, check his pulse, bro. Bro, check his pulse, bro. You bogus, bro.
Don't do
you
drugs.
bogus. Don't do drugs, bro. What is that? What do you think that is? You call when he doing okay?
Get back
You
on the
call
story.
when he doing okay? You call what you doing? You call when he doing okay?
Are you really a firefighter?
Yes, I am from Minneapolis.
Okay,
Bro,
then get on the sidewalk.
You think that's okay? Check his pulse.
Check his right
Charles,
fucking
check his
out.
pulse.
Get back on the sidewalk.
The man ain't moved yet, bro. The man ain't moved yet, bro.
Okay, where?
Minneapolis.
Okay.
Bro,
okay.
you're a bum, bro. You're a bum, bro. You're
Check his
definitely a
pulse right
bum,
now.
bro.
All right, we'll stop publishing at 20:26:34. Officer Chauvin also had a body-worn camera, is that right?
Yes.
And based on your review, is that the box that we saw underneath the car at one point in the encounter?
Yes.
That is at Exhibit 44, offer Exhibit 44.
44 is received.
Request to publish 44.
Yeah, it's a north side vehicle, Ilion Avenue.
Record 4.
Copy, 320 South Code 4, 330, you can cancel at 2012. 310, copy yourself behind the property damage accident, 1924 Chicago and subway. Copy.
Oh, shut up. Till I get there.
All right, if you can take that down, please. Now I'm going to be asking you about some items that we will seek to admit without publication at this point. Officer Pluger is a sergeant at the 3rd Precinct. You're familiar with him?
Yes.
He was also issued a body-worn camera, and his footage is, there's footage that was captured of the incident that's offered as Exhibit 48.
No objection. 48 is received.
Then there's a number of still photographs that were taken from some of the footage that has been reviewed. At this time, I'm going to offer these without seeking to publish, kind of in a group. Offer Exhibit 57, still photograph from Lane's body-worn camera at 20/30/41. Yes, sir. You don't. Is it on your thumb drive? I think in the first batch. One moment, Your Honor.
I can just take a look at it on there.
Or you can bring it up and. 57 is received.
Offer Exhibit 58, Lane's body-worn camera at 20/30/43.
58 is received.
Offer 59, Lane's body-worn camera at 20/30/47.
59 is received.
Offer Exhibit 60, Lane's body-worn camera 20/30/59.
60 is received.
Offer 61, Lane's body-worn camera 20/31/32.
61 is received.
Offer 62, Lane's body-worn camera 20/33/12.
62 is received.
Offer 63, Lane's body-worn camera 20/34/11.
63 is received.
Offer 64, Lane's body-worn camera 20/35/08.
64 is received.
Offer 65, Lane's body-worn camera 20/35/20.
65 is received.
Offer 66, Lane's body-worn camera 20/37/18.
66 is received.
Offer 68, still from Tao's body-worn camera. No, this is not military time, 8/32/59.
That was 68.
That was 68, Your Honor.
68 is received.
Offer 69, Tao's body-worn camera at 8:32 and 6 seconds. I'm sorry, 8:33 and 6 seconds.
69 is received.
Offer 70, Tao's body-worn camera at 8:33 and 20 seconds.
70 is received.
Offer 71, Tao's body-worn camera at 8:34:48.
71 is received.
Offer 72, photograph from King's body-worn camera at 20:33:57.
72 is received.
Offer 74, Lane's body-worn camera 20:38:22.
74 is received.
Offer 195, still photograph from defendant Chauvin's body-worn camera at 20:18:18.
195 is received.
Offer 196, Tao's body-worn camera at 20:18:30.
196 is received.
Offer 197, Tao's body-worn camera at 20:18:40.
197 is received.
Offer 237, photograph from King's body-worn camera at 20:17:45.
237 is received.
Offer 238, Chauvin, defendant Chauvin's body-worn camera at 20:18:18.
238 is received.
Offer 239, Tao's body-worn camera 20:18:40.
239 is received.
Offer 240, King's body-worn camera at 20:19:27.
240 is received.
Offer 241, Lane's body-worn camera at 20:19:53.
241 is received.
Offer 242, King's body-worn camera at 20:23:50.
242 is received.
Offer 243, Lane's body-worn camera at 20:26:33.
243 is received.
Offer 244, King's body-worn camera at 20:26:55.
244 is received.
For 245, Lane's body-worn camera at 20, 28, 23.
245 is received.
Now to exhibit 248, Lane's body-worn camera at 8:27:41.
248 is received.
Yes. And then one final body-worn camera exhibit to offer and for publication. That's relatively short, Your Honor. Exhibit 45 is another segment of Defendant Chauvin's body-worn camera.
Any objection?
No objection.
45 is received. May be published.
Seek to publish 45.
You can't win, bro. You can't win.
I'm not trying to win.
Go and get in the car then.
I get on the ground, anything.
Go and get in the car.
He know it. He know it too, Mr. Officer. Y'all hear me? Don't do me like that, man. Please. Okay, can I talk to you, please?
So you get in this car, we can talk.
I am claustrophobic.
I'm hearing you, but you're not working with me.
God, I'm claustrophobic right
Get in the
there,
car.
man.
Get in the
Can you
car.
get me in the front? Please.
No, you're not getting in the
I'm
front.
claustrophobic, Mr.
Get in
Officer.
the car. We're going to pull you
Okay,
in.
man, okay? I'm not a bad guy, man.
In the car.
I'm not a bad guy.
You ain't gonna win.
Man. Please, officer. Please. Please, man. Please.
Pull him in.
No. You take the seat.
Pull him in.
I can't choke. I can't breathe, officer. Please. Please.
Fine.
My wrist. My wrist, man. My wrist, man, please. No, I can't take that, man. I can't. I'm gonna lay on the ground. I'm gonna lay on the ground. I'm gonna lay on the ground, bro. I'm gonna lay on the ground. I'm gonna lay on the ground. I'm going down. I'm going down. I'm going down. I'm going down. I'm not going to
And then we've reached the point where, based on your experience and observation, that the camera is now on the ground underneath the vehicle. Is that right?
Yes.
Thank you very much. I have no further questions.
Mr. Nelson? Yeah. All right, Lieutenant Rugel, you just have a seat. There's some other things we have to deal with. But members of the jury, we're going to excuse you for the night. And so we are going to be in recess as far as you're concerned until roughly 9:15 or 9:30 tomorrow. Simply follow the sheriff's deputy's instructions, and we will see you tomorrow. be seated. All right, Mr. Nelson, did you want to proceed? Record should reflect we're outside the hearing of the jury for an offer of proof. Mr. Nelson.
Thank you. Your Honor, as we discussed previously, the state has shortened certain body-worn cameras. I have, as an offer of proof, more extensive copies of both the milestone as well as the body-worn cameras. For purposes of the offer of proof, I do have a few questions for Lieutenant Rugel.
Right, you may proceed.
Lieutenant Rugel, in terms of the milestone cameras, during the course of viewing them, we see the camera turning.
Yes.
Someone was operating that camera at that time, correct?
Correct.
So someone was monitoring the camera and they were the ones that were turning it?
Yes.
And then when you saved that footage, or when the MPD saved that footage, that was not something that was happening. It was recorded, essentially, right?
Right. Once it's recorded, you can't change it.
Now, as far as the clip that we saw, you'd agree that that's a shortened version of the entire piece of evidence that was gathered by the MPD?
Yes.
Now, in terms of the software capabilities of the milestone camera, you're familiar with how that operates?
Yes.
And you would agree that the software that runs the milestone is different than the software that was used to show that clip?
Yes.
Okay. For purposes, Your Honor, if we could show the witness or even display it since the jury's not out. But even in terms, this is what the player looks like for the milestone system?
Correct.
And you are able to go through this, excuse me, you were able to scroll through the time that was saved?
Yes.
The pink bar at the bottom, would that indicate the time that was saved?
Yes.
And anything that happened prior to that where it's black, or subsequent to that where it turns black again, would be gone, right?
Yes.
All right. Now, you can also, this player also has some other capabilities such as zooming, right?
Yes.
So we can actually take this and move the camera around. Correct?
Yes.
So it has like this compass rose that allows you to manipulate where the camera is, as far, or where the image is enlarged within the original video.
You're zooming within the video now,
right?
As opposed to with the camera.
Okay. You also have the ability here to play it in different speeds.
Yes.
Is that correct? So I could play it at as high as 16 times the original speed?
Correct.
So it goes much faster, as we see on the screen?
Yes.
As well as we could slow it down to as much of quarter time, right?
Yes.
All right. So if I just put this back to regular speed, and then scroll, for example, you can actually zoom this in or zoom it out, as we discussed earlier.
Yes.
As well as manipulate the angle to see as much of whatever was captured within the field of the camera's vision, right?
Yes.
All right. And the total time that you gathered was from approximately 7 o'clock p.m., I believe, until you said about 11?
I think that's what it was, yes.
All right, let's just verify. And so, as far as, scan this over here. 10 p.m.
Yes.
So from 7 to 10 to 3 hours, right?
Yes.
All right. Now, with respect to the body-worn cameras, does the MPD also maintain the, we can turn the screen off, Your Honor. Does the MPD also maintain body-worn camera footage for the Park Police? Or does Park Police have their own unit that does that?
They have their own system.
In terms of the body-worn cameras, when an officer is on duty, there are certain circumstances under which they can shut them off as their, whatever the policy is, right?
Yes.
All right. And you're familiar with the policy?
Yes.
But there are certain times that officers are required to have them on as well.
Yes.
Right? And so an officer may, in the course of interacting with his partners or talking with various people, he or she may turn off the body-worn camera at a certain time, right?
Yes.
And then once the circumstances change and they're required to turn their camera back on, they hit it, and every time they turn it off and on, it creates a different segment of video. Is that
correct? With a buffer.
With a buffer, with a 30-second buffer each and every time.
Yes.
And so when we're watching the videos and we see that first 30 seconds, and then all of a sudden you see them hit it, and that's when the sound comes on. It actually goes backwards 30 seconds, right?
Right.
Okay, but sound would not be captured.
Not during the buffer, right?
The 30-second buffer. But so when an officer routinely handles a call and they go to save that body-worn footage, it's not always necessarily one continuous video segment. It may be several segments, right?
Correct.
And in this particular case, I believe with respect to each of the 4 officers thus far, there were multiple segments of each officer's body camera.
I know more than one. I don't.
Right.
Sure. Yes. I think so. Yeah. I think so.
I'm not. I could look and give you the specific numbers, but so if we look at a file folder that has Mr. Chauvin's body-worn cameras and there were 3 segments, that would be representative of 3 times that he turned it off and on.
Yes.
And they all would have the same case number, and each officer may have more than one segment of time captured.
Yes.
All right. I have no further questions for the purposes of foundation. Your Honor, for the record, I have a flash drive for the court's consideration that contains the totality of the 4 officers' body cameras. It has the totality of the milestone system. Let me ask you one quick question, Lieutenant. I apologize. The milestone camera, in order to operate that, it appears from the instructions you actually need to save it onto the desktop of a computer. Are you familiar with that?
To operate it?
To run that player?
You mean downloaded video?
Yes.
To someplace, yes. You need to save it.
Okay.
You can save it to a thumb drive, and then we put it up into evidence.com.
Right. I guess what I'm saying is, like, when I get it, I got a specific instruction that I had to save it on my desktop in order to run the player. Have you heard that?
I believe I've run them from a thumb drive.
Okay. I wasn't able to do that.
Okay.
So for the court's consideration, I would suggest copying. You may find it easier to run the milestone if you save it onto your desktop. I would note, Your Honor, and I don't know if the state is intending to object as on foundational purposes, but it is the defendant's intent to call Peter Chang, the Minneapolis Park Police officer. On the thumb drive also is Peter Chang's body-worn cameras. If there are foundational objections, I would appreciate knowing that. Alternatively, you may want to view that if there are admissibility objections.
You can object on foundation grounds?
I don't anticipate that, Your Honor. Let me review the issue, but I don't see a reason to object on foundational grounds, but substantively, there will be some objections.
All right, and when do you want to deal with this? Is for your case, correct?
It is for experts, both with respect to use of force considerations as well as medical issues.
All right. When would you like to actually argue this? Tomorrow morning, or
is today Wednesday?
Thursday or Friday is fine with me.
Could we do it Friday morning, Your Honor?
Sure.
And then
Let's do that Friday at 9 a.m. then.
At 9 on Friday.
Yes. I don't think it should take longer than that. Okay. Anything else for the record, though, before we adjourn?
Only that I'll offer the thumb drive as a court exhibit for purposes of consideration.
Yeah, we'll mark it as a court exhibit essentially for an in-camera review or as an offer of proof pursuant to the motion to admit the entire.
And Your Honor, then just for the record, I think that this was initially posed as an objection to our exhibit, and you received that those exhibits subject to that objection. It seems that this is more of an affirmative offer in his case, and so I'd ask the court to overrule the objection and receive all of the exhibits we've offered today substantively.
With respect to the objection that I did make earlier, it was just to note I have no objection to the court receiving those items formally, but I would also be offering these.
All right. I'll receive all the exhibits that were provisionally received as formally received, and we'll deal with the admissibility of the new court exhibit and its components on Friday at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your
All right. Anything else for the record?
Honor. No, not for the state. Thank you.
Nothing from
Lieutenant, thank you.
Thank you.
You can step down. All right. We're adjourned until, do we need 9 o'clock? Let's do 9 o'clock tomorrow just in case any motions pop up in the meantime. 9 o'clock tomorrow, 9:30 for the jury is most likely. Thank you.